Hey guys, so good evening. Tonight is Friday the 21st, and I'm not sure how my videos have come across today. My morning was pretty emotional, kind of a tribute to my brother and his birthday. Maybe that's kind of why I've been kind of like this good part of the day. My midday was really just recognizing when you meet somebody special, and as a person, and age, religion, race doesn't matter. Um, Sometimes people just fall into your life and causes you to open your eyes a little bit. Um, my night one, sometimes I get some people tell me that I'm not sure. I guess this journey started out for me and my family, and then it started out to spread a message, and in some ways it's impacted a bunch of people, and that's pretty cool to think about. I try to be as real as I can be on here, and sometimes I am real happy and excited when I'm sharing some really cool stories and cool people with you. Sometimes I'm just physically beat up and down like I've been earlier this week, and sometimes I just got some stuff weighing on my head, and I know I can't make everybody happy on here, so trying to watch what I say, because some people have kind of said, hey, looks like you're getting tired, or hey, we all got bills and problems, we don't really need to hear about yours right now. We're looking to escape with you, and or other people said, hey, look, people do escape with you. So I'm just trying to be real with you guys. Sometimes I don't necessarily know how to say what I want to say, but I'm guess I'm going to ask you guys tonight for something. I spent the better part of the last couple of hours kind of mapping out my upcoming part of the journey here. In a way, I think in hindsight I'm going to look back and be blessed that I got a couple days saved for me when Aubrey suggested I skip it, because I know about a week ago, when I said I was going to do 35 a day and get to the finish line in California in 5 weeks, that I knew I could do it, and I knew there'd be some long days ahead. But kind of being in it right now, having driven past it and mapping it out, just gonna be honest with you guys, it's a little intimidating. So there's a lot piling on at home. You guys can read into that what you want to read into that. So I'm trying to juggle that. And if you want to take an idea, early in my journey, I shared a book with you. John Steinbeck, the acclaimed novelist, did something similar in the 60s with his dog. I think it's called Travels with Charlie. But the first 25 pages of that book, summed up in words better than I could ever say kind of how I felt leading up to the journey, those last few weeks. You started with excitement and an idea, and as it got closer, trepidation set in. And I tell you guys this not to get you scared or for me or anything like that. I'm not trying to get anybody worried. I just try to be honest with you, right, and be real. So knowing what I'm looking at, knowing that look at the terrain behind me. It's flat, it's arid, it's rocky. If you guys want to have some fun, just out of boredom, just go in and Google Map Tucumcari, New Mexico, or Albuquerque, New Mexico, and then just scroll out and see the towns, and look along Route 40 and 66 and see how many miles between towns and what's out there. And it's not like it's just one day and then boom, I hit a big town and then I got to do another town. I'm going to be in for a mental challenge that quite frankly has got me concerned right now, and I'm really blessed. And I'm going to post that on the site, that Outdoor Equipment Rentals in New York, and I think they post on my website, or if not, Toby will be sharing this kind of SOS package with me, because it's up to this point I've only had a few days where it's been like this, and I had to really fight to get somewhere. But this is going to be about a 3 or 4 day window. It's about 6 days from here to Albuquerque, and I'm not going to be going to Albuquerque. I'm going to be heading up north towards Santa Fe and Madrid, all things willing. So I really want to make sure I don't sell myself short on provisions like water. And I'm no outdoorsman. I'm no Army Ranger or Navy SEAL. You know, I get thirsty, I drink, and then I look down and go, wow, where'd all the water go? You know, I get hungry, I eat the whole bag of beef jerky. I don't eat 2 bites and sensibly say, well, I better save some for later. Well, I think that I've been having some really look in the mirror into my soul and knowing that that's who I have to be for the next several days. And again, I'm not saying that to scare you guys. I'm just kind of sharing with you and getting inside my head. On top of that, to those of you, you know, look, things are tough at home right now, money-wise. I'm coming up on the end of a few months without paying some bills, and they're calling, and I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that. I'm just trying to be honest with you. But you know, you try walking for 12 hours and to the unknown, and having that weighing on your mind. You know, my family's been supportive as all get out. There's no worries there. My kids know I love them tremendously. Heather's been amazingly supportive. I speak to my mom every day. It's just a little bit of it's only going to be about probably a week or so, and I'm going to look back and be so proud of myself that I got through it. You know, for those, my friend Scott had told me, I think I shared this with you the other day, that his interpretation for pointing the thumb means actually, you know, being proud of yourself and taking credit, pointing the thumb at yourself when you do something over and above. And this is going to sound so silly, but to those of you that know me or are in the same boat as me, maybe you'll appreciate it. I'm the least handy person in the world. I truly am. And you know, something as simple as buying something that has to be put together from an IKEA or, you know, a Walmart or whatever, and actually putting it together, I swear to you, I feel like I won the New York City Marathon when I do that. It's such a simple thing that other people could probably do in 25 minutes, takes me 3 hours. But when I do it, there's such a sense of pride in pointing the thumb at myself that this part here, Anna Lee kind of summed it up when she was talking with me, that this journey, part of it was to test myself and find myself while I'm out here. And this next week is going to be it. I don't think it's going to be any easier from Albuquerque to New Mexico. I'm sorry, Jesus, Jim. Albuquerque's in New Mexico. Albuquerque in towards the Flagstaff area. The only difference is that I've got a couple of people that have reached out to me here in New Mexico in the Albuquerque area. So I called them both today. I haven't heard back yet. But if and when I do, you know, meeting people gets me fired up and gives me a lot of motivation. So the same way my experience in Amarillo with the radio station and meeting Aubrey has got me kind of fired up for today and tomorrow. That's going to wear through after about the second day, the 4th hour or so, because I get up and I'm flying in the morning. So that Albuquerque, if I get to meet those folks, will carry me through the first few days, but it's kind of the same thing. But so I guess what I'm going to ask you guys, I'm going to ask you guys 2 things, if I may. The first, which is kind of silly, not everybody's going to do it, but people that are following me are, like I said, go Google Map Albuquerque and Tucumcari and just, you know, imagine your own, and then doing it by like your own home state. You know, take your biggest city and map alignment and see all the towns along the way, and then kind of come out here in New Mexico and see it. I think it's about 178 miles from Tucumcari to Albuquerque, so that's a good 5 to 6 days. And yes, there's a couple of little rest areas. It's not going to be completely desolate, but I mean, when you walk just to find one little rest area, that's not a whole lot. I mean, that's basically walking 12 straight hours to find one little rest area. And who knows how the charges are, the phones, whatever. The other thing I'm going to ask you to do is, I'm going to be kind of selfish. This isn't for my own ego, but maybe there's a part of it that is. But I'm not going to be strong enough to do this by myself. You guys don't know what you all have meant to me with the words and the text messages and the emails. So what I'm going to ask you to do for me, if you can, is just maybe humor me. I guess I would liken it to if my son had a homework assignment. I'm going to ask you, if you're willing to, you don't have to by any means, but if you're willing to, go to my website. My email's on there. Contact Jim. Shoot me an email. You know, I don't necessarily want a pep talk, although, you know, words of encouragement are appreciated. I would just like to know, you know, from as many people as possible who have been following me, whether it's been only a few days, a few weeks, or all the way since back in June, you know, what this has meant to you, if anything. You know, the reason I'm asking is, the truth is, I don't know. You know, I know some people have told me I've inspired them. Some people have just said, hey, it's been kind of neat to see some of the things you're doing. I think I've got like 2,000 people following me, and I'm sure the vast majority of them, you know, get a quick clip on they maybe follow me for a couple days, and then, you know, now I'm just on their Facebook page. Like I have a lot of people on my Facebook I don't really pay attention to. You know, I get a clip and okay, move on. So I'm sure that's the great majority. But I guess as I'm starting to come towards the finish of this journey, I'm just trying to get a flavor and a taste in my own mind, especially as I start to finish off thoughts of the book, as to, you know, what has this meant to an outsider? I'm living it, so I only see it from my perspective. So I'm asking you to shoot me your perspective, and I don't want it to be all positive. Like I said the other day, somebody shot me an email and said, hey, you know, I think you're out of your mind. I think basically you're a clown for doing what you did. I would never do that to my kids, and I'm not sure how you think that's finding humanity. And I've heard that, you know, certainly more than a handful of times on the journey. So it's a valid observation. But again, as I start to, in my own mind, compartmentalize this thing, I would really appreciate it if you guys would take the time to email me and you know, just what your thoughts are. It could be 2 words, it could be 200 pages, I don't care. I'm just trying to get an understanding. If you know, has this been just a neat thing? Has it been something that has it been a burden? Have I sent too many posts, too many pictures? You know, has it been something that might have caused you to rethink something differently early on in the journey? Stephen Trumbull and Glenn Trumbull both had sent me kind of emails that were telling me how, you know, just hearing one of my little speeches one day, one of my little videos, kind of just caused them to act differently than they may have done in a given moment, and that really inspired me. So I'd like to know, has anybody applied point to thumb when they wouldn't have before? Has anybody actually consciously thought it through? Has anybody seen any change in themselves? Does anybody think I'm out of my mind and selfish and ignorant for doing that? I don't know. You know, that's I'm trying to get a taste. I know I'm not making everybody happy out here. And that's that. But that's, I mean, I just want you to be as real with me as I'm trying to be with you guys. So I'm going to wrap up for tonight. The really cool thing today, and this is something that I have to process as I try to do in my morning, afternoon, and night videos. I've spent 50 years of my life living in one time zone, so I am conditioned terribly for the Eastern time zone. Well, today I crossed over from Central into Mountain time zone, so I'm now 2 hours behind. And I got to try to get over that in my mind as I talk to my kids and my family and back home. But I just think it's a really cool thing when you look at a map and go, I essentially walk through 2 time zones, and there'll be a third by the time I'm done. So this next week is going to be tough. Take a look at it if you want to, or if you will. You know, just put yourself, you know, get yourself in my shoes. Earlier today when I was driving up here with Aubrey, as I said, she was a very brilliant young lady. And she was, one of the questions she asked me, and it's something I thought about and shared with you guys before, was, you know, does this journey give me a new appreciation for what people, early settlers of our country, went through? And heck yeah, it does. Like, you have no idea. I think I shared early in my journey, kind of just walking the unknown. What do these people, our ancestors from Europe, do? Getting on a boat with nothing but some clothes on their back and their kids, hoping for a better life. You know, today one of the things I was saying is, you know, when I walk sometimes and I make a wrong turn, or a place I want to stop at is a half a mile off the road, and it's a mile round trip. That half a mile seems like forever. You know, I have Google Maps. I've got a computer in my hand, essentially. I've got all of this ability. People settled in the West back in the day, they didn't have a map. They had to go to a town to go get their provisions, and that town didn't have a big neon sign on it or a Google map to it. You know, if they miss it by 3, 4, 5, 6 miles, I mean, think about you know, just how crazy that would be. I gotta run. I'm finishing up, guys. If you'll do that for me, I appreciate it. Keep loving me. I need it right now. Love you guys. Thank you so much. Carolyn and Grace, be good, guys. I love you so much. Bye-bye now.